Hi, welcome back. Glad you could join me. Today I'm going to be making a bee skep, and all of these items, with the exception of the honey, came from the Dollar Tree. So let's dive right in. I'm using this rope, which you will actually need two of course my trusty glue gun, scissors, and my glass cutting board, which helps to protect my work surface, and it's really easy to peel off any hot glue mistakes. And I'm using these flower pots, which actually you get 3 in a pack, so they're a really good value. And they have these inserts in them. I'm not really sure what they're for, so I'm just going to put those aside, and hopefully I'll get to use them later on, maybe in another project. Two more things that you'll need is a popsicle stick for helping to guide the rope into the glue and not burn your fingers, and I always recommend a bowl of iced water just in case you actually do get glue on your fingers. Then, starting off with a really good sized blob of hot glue and the end of the rope, just push that on nice and firmly. And what I did here was try to flatten out the end of the rope. When you come around for the next pass, the rope is going to overlap, so the flatter you can get this first piece, it will avoid having that bump as you go up onto the next level. While you are doing this bottom level, you really want to keep it as close to the bottom edge as possible so that you don't have a gap at the bottom when this is finished. So as I'm going around, I'm kind of pushing against the pot, but also pushing downwards at the same time. I really like these pots. They have a lovely kind of bell shape to them, which I thought was just perfect for a bee skep. It did occur to me that it might be worth painting it in a kind of buff colour, so that if I did get any gaps between the rope, it wouldn't show. But that really didn't become an issue. I had no trouble getting the rope nice and close, so that's just a matter of preference. I didn't find it necessary. Of course, if you could find the pots in a brown colour to begin with, that would be ideal. So I'm just continuing around, gluing just a small section at a time until I meet up with the end of the rope, the first piece that I glued. When you come to the first piece that you stuck down, then you're going to overlap, and then you're going to go up a level so that the next layer of rope sits above the layer you just put down. So you're going up in a kind of spiral effect. It does seem like it's quite slow going at this point, but as you go higher up the pot becomes narrower, and it does get much faster, and before you know it, you'll be finished. And really, that's all there is to it for this portion. You just keep gluing and wrapping and gluing and wrapping and working your way higher and higher up the pot. At this point in the process, this was where the first coil of rope ran out. And what you ideally want to try to do is to get the join between the two pieces of rope in line with your first starting piece. There's a reason you want all of the joins all on the same side, which I'll explain when we get to that stage. And again, here I'm trying to just kind of flatten out the end of the rope so that there's not a bump and we get a smoother join between the two pieces. Now I've reached the top edge of the pot, and this is where it gets kind of scary because you no longer have the pot to guide you, and you just have to kind of eyeball it, and you continue going up, and as you go up you're making each circle slightly smaller than the one below it. So you just continue on making smaller and smaller concentric circles until you reach the point where they almost close up, but you want to leave just a small gap at the top. So now I've reached the top and there's just a small hole just about the width of the rope. So there are different ways of finishing these. Sometimes if you wish you can leave a hanging loop. This time I chose not to do that. So I wrapped the rope around and then pushed it through the hole that was left. I just needed a bit of help from the popsicle stick to get it to go through the hole. This does give a really nice, neat finish to the top. The reason I wanted to keep all of the joins together on the same side is that the next piece we're going to add is the door that the bees would fly in and out of, and we can use the door to cover the joins. So you want something that's got a little bit of stiffness to it, a piece of card. I had a paper plate handy and that's just perfect. So I'm painting a small piece of it with black craft paint. You want a matte finish here, not shiny. Then you'll want to find something circular that is the size you would like for the door. I used a small lid from a pot, and this will become your template to measure out the rope that will form the border of your door, and also for cutting out the piece of painted black card. I'm just adding on the cut out piece of black card with some hot glue, and it's going right over the join between the two ends of rope. And when you glue on the rope for the outside border of the door, ideally you want to try to get the join between the two pieces at the bottom so that it lines up with the very first piece that you glued down. The reason for this is that next we're going to add honey spilling out of the door and down the front, and as the honey spills out of the door it will cover the join on the border piece, and then as it runs down the front it will also cover the very beginning piece where we started, and then everything is covered and it's nice and neat. So that's it, it's done, and I'm really pleased with it. It was very easy, and it came out great. The only thing left now is to add the honey effect, and I've got a separate video for you on that. I've tried different methods, different price ranges, and they vary in their results. I'll show you all of them in another video, so please come back and watch that video too. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, and don't forget, subscribe to my channel for future videos, and I'll see you back here next time.